We're looking at tenses. He's got some excellent chapters on tenses. And today we're going to look at present perfect continuous. This is have been doing. We will compare it with have done, which is present perfect simple. We looked at that last time in comparison with past simple. And today we're going to look at present perfect continuous. Now, I want to make it very clear right from the beginning that you don't often need this tense. Yeah, that's something so important. I think some people, they learn this tense and then they think they can use it all the time. You can't. You definitely can't use it all the time. You can use this tense very rarely. Okay, but still we're going to study it. And I want to make it clear that have done is very common, in my opinion. It's really common in everyday English, but have been doing is far, far rarer. So let's have a look at the chapter in Murphy. This is a brilliant book. If anyone would like to buy it, please do so. It's a great book. I feel as though I'm advertising it really because I'm trying to show you what a great book it is. So we're going to look at present perfect continuous, which is first mentioned in chapter 9. And he gives you some examples. Is it raining? No, but the ground is wet. It has been raining. Okay. So the first thing that you must learn is that you can't use present perfect continuous with stative verbs. Now, I mentioned this right at the beginning when we were doing present continuous and present simple. You can't use stative verbs. Sorry, you can't use present perfect continuous with stative verbs because you can't use stative verbs with any continuous tense, not present continuous, not present perfect continuous, not past continuous, not past perfect continuous. So no continuous forms for stative verbs. So it's only the dynamic verbs that really that you see in this tense. That's the first important thing to remember. Okay, now he gives you some other examples, and each time he's trying to show you that you use this when there's a present result. Now, you also use present perfect simple for things with a present result. It's true. But he's trying to show you that there's always that connection. Now, we'll look at when you need one and when you need the other in a second. But the ground is wet, so we say it has been raining. You are out of breath, yeah, which it means that's when we say you're out of breath. Have you been running? So you're out of breath now. It's got a present result. Paul is very tired. He's looking tired. It's because he's been working very hard. Why are your clothes so dirty? What have you been doing? Now, I must admit, this phrase is very common. Yeah? Even though I've just told you that present perfect continuous is rare, we do often say, what have you been doing today? And it's because we're talking about an unfinished period, really, today. Yeah, it's not finished yet. And we're not talking about one moment in today, but we're referring to all of today, including the present moment. What have you been up to? What have you been doing? So I've been talking to Amanda about the problem and she agrees with me. We don't mention a specific moment, and so we can use present perfect, and we must here, in fact. If you say, I talked to Amanda about the problem, it sounds so finished and like there's no result in the present. But perhaps there is a result in the present, in which case we say, oh, I've been talking, and it is, look, about the problem and she agrees with me. That's the result, she agrees. So where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. And this means I've just been looking for you everywhere. Yeah, all of that, well, previous period until the present moment. I hope I'm making this clear. So another very important, perhaps the most important thing to remember, guys, is we very often see present perfect continuous with how long. Okay, how long, for, since. I want you to memorize those 3 words for present perfect continuous because they very often require present perfect continuous, and it's because present perfect continuous is used for unfinished periods of time. Yeah, let's look at Murphy's example, and we'll go a little bit closer so you can definitely see it. So study this example situation. It began raining 2 hours ago and it is still raining. So we say, how long has it been raining? It has been raining 2 hours. Very often, this is the most common reason for using present perfect continuous. How long, for, and since. The activity is still happening or has just stopped. Even if it has just stopped, you could still use present perfect continuous. So we say things like, how long have you been learning English? How long have you been living in your town? How long have you been working in your company? How long have you been playing the guitar? How long have you been driving? How long have you been watching that film? How long have you been reading that book? Yeah, there's a lot of examples there. I hope that's enough for you. And I hope that it can show you that really you need this this tense when you're saying how long, especially with how long, for, and since. If, provided that it's not a stative verb. If it's a stative verb, you can't use present perfect continuous. You must use present perfect simple. For example, know, understand, believe. How long have you known him, and not have you been knowing? Because it's a stative verb, know. Yeah, so how long have you known him? How long have you had your car? Not how long have you been having. How long have you had your car? Because have is a stative verb. It describes a state. Okay. And where have you been? I've been looking for you for the last half an hour. Chris hasn't been feeling well recently. Okay, and then just give you a quick comparison between present continuous, which is it's in the middle of happening now, yeah, and present perfect continuous, which isn't in the middle of happening now, but it's a period of time that started in the past and is still going now. So don't disturb me. I am working. That means I'm in the middle of working. But I've been working hard. Now I'm going to have a break. Yeah, I've just been working hard. I'm not in the middle of working. It's just finished, actually, and I'm going to have a break. We need an umbrella. It's in the middle of raining. But the ground is wet. Yeah, present result. It's been raining. And then hurry up. We are waiting. We're in the middle of waiting. But we have been waiting for an hour. Yeah, because we say how long. That's why we need the present perfect continuous, right? Okay, let's come out, and would you perhaps just look at his pictures on the next, earlier, you can see them in the shops. Now they've come home, so you say they have been shopping. Earlier, you can see she was watching something on TV. Now she has turned it off, so you say she has been watching TV. Yeah, she has been watching TV. Earlier, you can see the tennis. Now they're having a drink. They are having a drink. They're in the middle of having a drink, yeah? So they have been playing tennis. Earlier, you see the running. Now he is having a rest. So you say he has been jogging or he has been running, yeah? So they're things that have just finished, but went on for a long period, for a long extended period. So you might say, Dave, what have you done today? And I can tell you, I've just been cooking sausages. In fact, I've just been eating sausages, and I have eaten all the sausages. Notice if I want to make it clear that it's finished, I say I have eaten. But if I want to make it clear that this is an action that has just been taking place, I say I have been eating sausages. Yeah. Now first I cooked the sausages, of course, and then I ate the sausages. Notice I can use past simple as well. But if I want to really make it clear to the listener that this has just happened, I say I've been cooking sausages. Yeah, or I've been eating sausages. Or if I want to make it clear that it has just finished, I have eaten. And you can even say how many, because how many is usually simple. We'll talk about these things in a second. So Katya's just asked me, how long have I been streaming? And I can tell Katya, I have been streaming for 8 minutes and 52 seconds. Yeah, it is usually for this. So well done, Katya. That's an excellent example. Okay, let's come back to the Murphy. And let's look at the next chapter now, because I think that one's really quite clear. But what a lot of students then wonder is, well, what the hell is the difference then between simple and continuous? Because some verbs, like paint, they're not stative verbs. And so when do we want to say have been painting, and when do we want to say have painted? Yeah, it's a good question, very good question. And the answer, sadly, is not simple. Not obvious, and quite annoying to teach, if I'm honest. But look at the two pictures. On the left, she says, I've been painting my bedroom. And she says that because she is not finished. Yeah, she's not finished. It's still in process. But I mean, she has finished painting, but she hasn't completed the room. Yeah, but she isn't painting at the moment. So we can't say she is painting because she's not. She has stopped that activity, but she hasn't finished the whole room. And in that case, we would say, okay, I have been painting my bedroom. She wouldn't say, I have painted my bedroom. She wouldn't, definitely not, because that always means the picture on the right. You use present perfect simple if the action is complete with a present result. You use present perfect continuous if the action has just stopped, even though it's not complete, if the action has just stopped and it has a present result. So she can say, I've been painting my bedroom. Look, I've got paint all over me, but it's not finished. Yeah. On the right, she has to say, I have painted my bedroom. Well, she can say, I've been painting my bedroom. Actually, she can, but then it's not clear that she has finished it. So use present perfect simple to emphasize that you've finished it. Use present perfect continuous to focus on the duration rather than the result. Yeah, so if you say, it's certainly on the left, she would say, I have been painting my bedroom for 3 hours, because for 3 hours is a duration. Agreed? Yeah, for 3 hours. So if you're focusing on duration, use have been doing. If you're focusing on result, then it's completion. If you're focusing on completion, use have done. I hope that's nice and clear. So let's try some exercises with that in mind. I mean, they do give you some good examples here. My hands are very dirty. I've been repairing my bike. But if my bike is fixed now, you say, I have repaired it. Joe has been eating too much recently. He should eat less. This is just generally, yeah, and he has been eating many times. But someone has eaten all the chocolates. Yeah, you see that completion, duration. This is always duration. This one's always completion. So it's nice to see you again. What have you been doing since we last met? Just what have you been up to? But where's the book I gave you? What have you done with it? Yeah, what have you done with it? Where have you put it? Where have you been? Have you been playing tennis? And have you ever played tennis? Ever is not going to be used with been playing or been doing. Have you ever played tennis? Have you ever seen this film? Have you ever read that book? It won't be have you ever been reading. Okay, that's something to memorize. So with how long, we very often use the perfect continuous. How long have you been reading that book? How long have you been living in your house? How long have you been playing tennis? Yeah, how long have you been learning Arabic? But we use the simple to say, or how many times. This is really important. If you say, 3 times or something like that, you need simple. I have read that book 3 times. I have seen that film twice. I have eaten 6 sausages, much more likely than I have been eating 6 sausages, although it's kind of possible. But if you're focusing on completion, yeah, guys, it's got to be this one over here. It's got to be perfect simple. And how many times, to me, that is already complete. Yeah, when you say 2 times or twice or 6 times, there's an element of completion when you give the number. And perhaps that's why you need to say, I have been to Greece 10 times. Okay, and it reminds you about stative verbs down here. Don't use them in perfect continuous. So let's try some of the exercises. Let's try these 2. You have just arrived to meet a friend. She is waiting for you. You ask, how long have you been waiting? Of course, yeah. Wait is not stative. It's very dynamic. You see somebody fishing by the river. You ask, have you caught any fish? And this is because the emphasis is on completion rather than duration. The act is completed. The fish has been caught. Okay, number 4. Some friends of yours are having, so this is have in the dynamic sense and not stative sense, are having a party. You ask, how many people have you invited? How many is perfect simple. How many have you invited? A friend of yours is a teacher. You ask, how long have you been teaching? Yeah, how long is very often the period ones. When you're saying how long, very often they're perfect continuous. You meet somebody who is a writer. You ask, how many books have you written? Because how many is simple. But you say, how long have you been writing books? Because how long is very often continuous and write is very dynamic. A friend of yours is saving money to go on a world trip. You ask, how long have you been saving and how much money have you saved? Have you saved? Because how much and how many are simple. Yeah, I hope I'm making this really, really clear. So hello to Kazakhstan. You used to learn from this book 15 years ago. Well, I think I have been using this book to teach English for at least 15 years. I think I have been using this book to teach English for 20 years. So it's a great book. Okay, so where have you been? Have you been playing tennis? Look, somebody has broken that window. Not continuous here, guys. If you say somebody has been breaking that window, it sounds like they took a long time to break the window. And breaking a window never takes a long time. The emphasis is on completion, not duration here. So somebody has broken. You look tired. Have you been working hard? Yeah, work is very dynamic. And so you can say, have you been working hard? Yeah, the element's not on completion here, it's on duration. Have you ever worked in a factory? No, never. Ever will always be perfect simple. Yeah, have you ever worked? Liz is away on holiday. Is she? Where has she gone? Here the emphasis on completion. You know, which place did she manage to get to? Where has she gone? My brother is an actor. He has appeared in several films. Yeah, here we'd say how many films he has appeared in. So we've got to use perfect simple for how many times. Sorry, I'm late. That's all right. I haven't been waiting long. Yeah, wait is very dynamic, and the emphasis here is certainly on duration. Is it still raining? No, it has stopped. Emphasis on completion. I have lost my phone. Have you seen it anywhere? Emphasis on completion again. I have lost my phone. It's gone. Have you seen it? And see, by the way, is a stative verb when you use it to mean see. So it won't be have you been seeing it. I have been reading the book you lent me, but I haven't finished it yet. Yeah, we can't say I have read the book you lent me because that means I have finished it already. It's very interesting. And I have read the book you lent me, so you can have it back now. And this is a very old book. I have been reading it since I was a child. Okay, so I hope that makes the perfect simple and perfect continuous a little bit easier. There's another chapter here on for and since and when and how long. That's an excellent chapter. Perhaps we'll look at that next time. But I hope that has made those two tenses a little bit easier. I'm going to keep doing some chapters from various books. I'll be doing a chapter from one of my books as well later today. So please stay on the channel, press the notifications bell or whatever you do to make sure that you turn up for these live classes. Maybe you follow me on VK, that's fine. Whatever you do, do it, and I'll see you later on today.